How far Namo enter Shrine? Alonso is here, Chichifis is here, and you're welcome to today's class. Now, this vocal series will be based off of the Kanitigwe Out the Ghetto album. We're doing a vocal mix breakdown of all the songs because I was the mastering and the mixing engineer of the song. Last week we did Fear Love. This week we are going to do Acha featuring Nix. So I'm going to tell you how I took the vocals from this.
Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you want me. Cause I want you, mommy. Tell me if you want me. Tell me if you want me. Cause I want you, daddy.
Then I took the vocal to this.
Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you want me. Cause I want you, mommy. Tell me if you want me. Tell me if you want.
So without wasting much time, let's enter Shrine. Let me show you how I did that. Let's go.
Yeah, so welcome to the class. So when they sent me these vocals, it had a lot of issues. So I had to do some gain staging, some moving on some background noise and everything. So after editing the vocals and doing the vocal sanitation, it's time to add plugins. And I didn't add plugin, I just edited the vocals with the basic cut and join tools. But now it's time to add the plugin. So I'm going to loop a part of it of Kani's vocals and I'll show you the vocal breakdown.
Put my brothers on single right when you said you got it. Tell me that you want.
Okay, let's loop from here.
Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you want. Tell me that.
Okay, so we'll loop from here.
Tell me that you want me.
So let's off the beat. Then let's loop it. No, let's loop it from here. Okay.
That you want me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you want me. So I want you, mommy. Tell me if you want me. Tell me that you want me.
Okay, so let me give you the breakdown. So first of all, after doing everything, I did an auto tune first of all to the chain. So this is my auto tune settings. Then I added an EQ because when you hear the vocal, I had to cut to 100 to remove every low end and some muddiness at the 272 hertz. Then I also boosted at the 500 hertz. Then did the subtractive EQing on the 770 hertz. Then I did a little boost at the 2500 hertz. Then I did another dip at the 8000 hertz. Then I did a mid-side EQing at the 17,000 hertz. That's my EQ setting. Then based off the fact that it had a lot of noise on the vocal, I still had to add another noise plugin on the virtual mixer rack. I used the virtual mix by Slate Digital, the plugin by Slate Digital. Then I added the preamp. I added a compressor just for peak reduction, and everything. Then I added another EQ. This is an analog EQ. It's an FGA EQ. It's available on Slate Digital. I like the old version. I've not upgraded to the new version yet. Then I added something like a saturation plugin. Then I added a DSR. This was my settings for it. I'm not saying these are the settings you use. I'm just giving you the vocal mix breakdown of this particular track. So now, after that, I used a Wave RVox compressor. I still added more noise gate because there was too much noise on the vocals. I don't know how it was recorded. So I added this is a noise gate. Then I added the compression. Then I blended the gain with it for it to sound well. Then I added a fresh air plugin to make it crisp and make it bright. Then I added a sausage fattener to give it grit and make it sound heavy. Then I added another de-essing plugin to remove more hisses and hisses. Then for my sends, I have 3 sends. I have reverb 1, I have reverb 2, and delay. So now I did 3 sends. That is for my 3 effects, for my first reverb, my second reverb, and the delay. So for my reverb setting, first of all, I use Valhalla. I use the vocal plates reverb first of all. Then I added an EQ. Then I added a compression. Then I added a saturation plugin on my reverb. Now, people might say that this guy is crazy, but I did what is best for the mix. So for every mix, you must not copy every setting. You have to do what is right for every particular mix. So I felt this was what was right for the particular mix, based off of where the vocal is and how the beat sound. Because I couldn't get the stems of the beat, so everything I had to do, I had to blend it, and nobody will want to hear that they did. Nobody will know that they didn't give me anything. They just wanted a clean mix. So this is what I did. Then for my second reverb, I added the Fab Filter RQ. Yes, then I added an EQ, a compression, and a sausage fattener saturation plugin. But I added little saturation. It's very little. Let me show you. It's just like 1%. Yes, 1%. That's what I added. 1% each. You don't just overdo it. Mixing is adding little things to make up. It's like they say a drop of water doesn't make the ocean, but mixing is like drops of water that ends up making up an ocean. So now for my delay, I added an auto-tune plugin. I always advise you, when you have your delay, add an auto-tune before you add your delay, because when you create your send, it's like the vocal is sending another the vocal to the delay raw. So it passes through your auto-tune, blend it well so it doesn't sound raw. Then I added my fruity delay. I love my fruity delay. Well, I love the stock plugin. It just works for me. So do what works for you. So then I added a Fab Filter Q3. Then I added a reverb too. Yeah, I added a reverb to my delay. Yeah, this boy is crazy. Yes. Then I added a compression to my delay. I didn't add saturation. I added a flangus before, but I didn't like it, so I offed it. Then let's move to the vocal of Nix, the featured artist. How I mix his vocal. You know, he's like a rapper, so, and a singer. So okay.
Tell me that you want me. Not really in the Tell me that you want me, cause I want you, darling. I've been trying to get it because a nigga be getting what it gets good. You don't understand the resolution of a king. I've been here chasing after Billy Billy because a nigga be trying to live a life that's really silly. See, God given talent, I'm killing with it. I want to getting what it gets good. You don't understand the resolution of a king. I've been here chasing after Billy Billy because a nigga be trying to live a life that's really silly. See.
So let me give you a breakdown of how I mix his vocals too. So this is his. I added an auto tune. I added an EQ. Pretty much what I did on Kani's vocal. So, but I just, based off of his vocal texture, I just did a little tweaking on each and every of the plugin to suit his vocals. I used probably use the same vocal chain, but not the same plugin settings I use for it. So then the backups, I added an auto tune, an EQ, added an EQ, added the fruity chorus and the fruity flanger. Then I added compression. The virtual mixer rack too. I love Slate Digital. Their plugin is actually amazing. If you're a mixing engineer, I would advise you to get it. So I use these settings for it. Then I didn't want the sausage fattener for it, so I off the sausage fattener. Then I added a wider plugin. It makes the vocal sounds wide, like it spreads the vocals. Yeah, it like gives you some kind of 3D feeling. So I added the wider, then I added sense. I added the two reverbs. I didn't add delay send for my backups. I don't like adding for this one. I didn't feel using a delay on the backups was wise because a lot was already going on the beat already. So adding delay on my backup will make it sound very scattered and very all over the place. I didn't want it to be all over the place. That's why I didn't add the delay on the backup. So on the second thing, pretty much did the same settings. I just added one flangus and one chorus, and I added the sausage fattener plugin. Then I still added the wider plugin because I wanted the backups to sound like it's like it give a 3D feeling. So that's pretty much of that. Then I added the parallel compression. This is my vocal, but I added the spectrum. I didn't like this, so I offed it. These are what I didn't like. I did a send, then I added parallel compression to it. So this is my parallel compression. This is what a parallel compression sounds like.
Understand the resolution of a game. I've been here chasing after Billy Billy because a nigga be trying to live a life that's really silly. See.
So It's like sending all the vocals raw again. So I do parallel compression to make it sound very, very cohesive and very strong. So let me show you if you blend it in.
Understand your resolution of a king. I be here chasing after
So I
Billy
just
Billy
blended
because a
it.
nigga be trying to live a life that's really silly. See, understand your resolution.
Let me off the parallel compression.
Understand your resolution of a king. I be here chasing after Billy Billy because a nigga be trying to live a life that's really
I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a lot of difference. If you can hear it, I'm hearing to everyone, I'm hearing the difference. So now for my parallel compression settings, I added a compression. I compressed the hell out of it. I compressed the hell out of it. Fast attack, fast release, and everything. Then I added an EQ. I only EQ'd. I wanted the high end of the parallel compression. I didn't want the low end because I felt there was already enough low end in the song. I didn't want to add more low end, so I just needed more high end on the song. So that's what I did. Then I added a sausage fastener to give it more grit and power. So basically, then the beats, I had to tweak the beat because I didn't have the file, so I tweaked the beat. I added an EQ, added a compression, added the sausage fastener to make it sound very heavy. So after doing all of that, we come up with the whole song.
understand your resolution of a king. I've been sure I gotta do better than anybody gets. You put it down to the letter because I'm trying to get. They were trying to keep me at this level, but I'm not really in the mood. See, I've been trying to get it because a nigga be getting what it gets good. You don't understand your resolution of a king. I've been here chasing after bit.
So basically, that's all about the song. You can check out the album Out the Ghetto by Kanisi Gray on all digital platforms. Yeah, that's all about this. See you in the next class. Stay safe. Bye.